Hello, can you hear me? Hi, Pharrell. Can you hear me? I want to know if the volume is working today. I don't know what happened yesterday. I could not figure it out. Can you let me know if you can hear me? You could put in the comments if you guys can hear me. Yes. Yes, you can hear me. Hi, Allie. How are you? Welcome to the live. I'm doing good. I could not figure out what happened yesterday. It's weird. I forgot to hit the comment section on, so I didn't see your guys' comments till I was done. Awesome. I'm glad you guys can hear me. I had to re-record the no contact all signs last night. That's what I uploaded last night for you. So today we're going to do you versus them. So I just want to make sure the volume's good. You guys can all see me. Hello, hello. Hi, Dusty. How are you? Hi, Amber. Hope you guys are having a great morning or evening, depending on where you're at. We're going to do you versus them. We're going to wait a couple minutes for a couple more people to get on. Hi, Tamika. How are you? We'll get started here in just a couple more minutes. Hi, Smith. Hi, Annie. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? Hope you guys are having a great morning. I'm having a good morning. I still have my workout clothes on, so I normally go to the gym like in the morning after I take all my kids to school, but my oldest is homesick with the stomach bug. So I have to go to the gym later. So I figured why change? I'm just going to go online with my gym clothes on. So, oh well. All right. Angela, you never been on a live? You know what? I normally don't go live. I'm trying to go live every day. Hi, Pauline from Kansas. Yeah, so I'm trying to get more comfortable with going live every day. It just makes it easier with the all signs because they're so long. They take so long to upload. And it's kind of nice to interact live with you online also. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Beach. How are you? But thank you for joining my live. I appreciate it. When you guys come in, like the video and you put a comment, it really does help push it up into the algorithm, which is great. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. I will leave the comments open today because I didn't have the comments up. I forgot to hit comments on the thing. So I didn't see that yesterday's live was no voice, no video. And then I had to re-record it last night. So, oh, it popped up. Oh, yay. Okay, great, Allie. Hi, Kai. I am doing good. Yeah, I don't know. StreamYard is really kind of finicky. I don't know what happened yesterday. And then I tried to go live directly on Facebook. I couldn't figure it out. I need to do some research on that because I like to use StreamYard because I can go on YouTube and Facebook at the same time. I'm also trying to get TikTok and Instagram all in the same live. But I'm not necessarily tech savvy, so I have to figure it out. I need to do a little more research on the key. There's something about the key codes that I have to put in for the other two. But anyways, let me stop talking. Let's get started. We're going to do you versus them. We're going to take a look and see what your energy is, your person's energy. What's the energy between the two of you? Are you mirroring each other or are you on completely different pages? And then we'll also get you some advice because it's for you. And then we'll get some, I brought the hidden truth messages. We'll see what the hidden truth is your person might be thinking or feeling that maybe they haven't actually expressed to you. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started with Aries first. And if you're joining after the live, I will put the timestamps down below for you. And you can look at your sun, moon, or Venus placement. If you guys do want your own personalized in-depth reading with the you versus them, it is on my website. I do an in-depth reading with you and your person. We look at short and long-term intentions, hopes, fears, desires, obstacles, and challenges for each of you separately. And then we look to see what is your lessons learned in the past, the present, and the near future with your individual personal reading. After the all signs today, we will do ask a question, get an answer. So stick around for that at the end. All right, Aries, you versus your person. Yes, hopefully everything works out good. I have the chat up so I can look. Hi, Wilma. Good morning. All right, Aries, you're in the energy of the Death card in reverse. Your person's in the Hangman energy. The energy between the two of you is the Nine of Swords. So you're holding on to something. It could be a consistent pattern. Your person hasn't maybe made a change that you've been wanting. Your person's in the Hangman energy. They just want you to just let it go. Whatever it is, they don't really want to keep talking about it. They don't want to keep beating a dead horse. And they may not be wanting to make any other changes. Now, it does look like you're kind of at the point of, you know what, they're not going to change. And they're at the point of saying, no, I'm not going to change. So let's see what's going to be the likely outcome here, because you guys are kind of at a standstill. Page of Wands reverse, Seven of Cups reverse, and the Nine of Cups. You may be a little bit impulsive and say something that you may regret. So I would say tread lightly if you are kind of mad that this person isn't making whatever change you've asked of them. And it may have something to do with like, if they have like a bad habit, maybe they like smoke or they like to go to happy hour, or it's something excessive that you don't like. You've asked them to change. They're not willing to change. You may want to watch what you say, because I see this person, they're satisfied being single all by themselves. So if you still want them, you may have to figure out how to come to a compromise. So let's get you some advice. You could be dealing with an air sign, a fire sign, water sign, or a Scorpio. What would be the best piece of advice for Aries in this situation? What is going to be the guidance for you if you decide to stay or if you decide to go? Oh, look, go with the flow is your advice. So sometimes what needs to happen is, instead of trying to force or try to control what somebody is going to do when it comes to changes, they have to come to the conclusion all by themselves. So Spirit is asking you to let go and just trust that everything is going to work out naturally the way it should be. You may also have to kind of clear out and release what's no longer serving you. So meaning, if you really can't let go of whatever this is that you have asked them to change, you may have to say, you know what, I'm growing in a different direction, and I don't think that I can hold on to this anymore. Now, if you are somebody who says, yes, I do want this person, I love them, and I'm willing to figure out how to go about this differently and not expect them to change, there's something internally within you that you have to heal. And it could be, sometimes it's the ego. Sometimes the ego says, hey, we're not going to change because we're being stubborn and rigid. You know, we all have the ego side of us. So there's something about you really accepting something and healing past it and saying, you know what, if I'm going to be with this person, I have to accept this is a part of the flaw that I don't like about them, but I love them and I want to be with them. So that's what you have to decide. All right, let's get some hidden truth for you, Aries. What is the hidden truth for those Aries? What is your person thinking or feeling, but maybe they haven't said to you? Hi, Victor. Really? Well, I'm not going to do that, but what I can do is I can actually put you in timeout. Congratulations. All right, Aries, your person is saying they're not available. They don't know if they're going to feel the same way about the situation. Okay, let's get one more. Hi, Wilma. Good morning. Hi, Andrew. How are you? They're waiting patiently. Yeah, you know what? Maybe you, or maybe this person gave you an ultimatum and said, hey, I'm not going to change. So if you can't accept it, then I can pack my bags and go. Maybe they're waiting patiently for you to make an answer or make a finalization. It's kind of like they're throwing the ball in your court, Aries, saying, hey, I'm not going to make this change. You have to accept me for who I am, or don't accept me at all. All right, let's move on to Taurus. Welcome into the live. If you guys just joined, I will put the timestamps down below after the live. Stick around to the end for Ask a Question, Get an Answer for free. Ask a Question, Get an Answer. Hi, Sue. Hi, Janetta. How are you? All right. Taurus, you and your person. What's going on here, Taurus? You versus your person. Taurus. You're in the Seven of Cups in reverse energy. So you're kind of focused more on the superficial of this relationship or this situation, but you also kind of feel trapped. Your person's in the Nine of Swords in reverse. So they kind of feel guilty about something. All right. Well, the energy between the two of you is the Death card in reverse. So there's a repeated negative pattern between the two of you. So let's clarify. Why are you in the Seven of Cups in reverse? Eight of Cups reverse, the Fool. So this has been a repeated cycle that you're well aware of. This person is non-committal. They're not giving you what you truly want and desire. All right. Why are they in the Nine of Swords reverse? Eight of Wands reverse, the Ace of Wands reverse. So this is a person, I'm hearing easy come, easy go. So they are somebody who kind of flies right in, gets all excited. Maybe you guys do a little things behind closed doors, and then they run away. And you are wanting commitment. You're wanting desire. You're wanting something more, but you feel trapped. Why do you feel trapped with this person? You know, you get really excited and you enjoy the companionship, but then when it comes to the success of solidifying into a relationship, this person doesn't do it. And you do know this person's draining your energy because you see between the two of you, there's a negative pattern. Likely outcome, 10 of Cups reverse, 3 of Pentacles reverse, and the Chariot. It's stuck. And the only way that you're going to get moving is if you actually take action to move away from this. All right, we're going to get you some advice. You could be dealing with a Libra, a Sagittarius, a Cancer, a fire sign, a Pisces, a Capricorn, a Sag, Pisces, Gemini, Scorpio, Scorpio. All right, well, what is going to be the best piece of advice for Taurus at this time? What is it you need to know? What is it you need to hear? Hi, Annetta. Hi, Kim. Hi, Marta. Kim from the GB UK, from across the ditch. What does that mean, Annetta? I don't know what that means. All right, what's the advice for Taurus? Cross it over. You have fear. The universe is telling you there's a reason why your emotions are not being met. There's something that you're not wanting to face within yourself about the fear of holding on to this person. You know, sometimes when we hold on to somebody in our life, whether it be a friend or a romantic partner, it's because we fear what's on the other side of that. But here's the thing. If you're in a situation that you feel drained, you feel depleted, and you're just miserable and not happy, would you rather stay in the misery and act like you're happy, or would you rather depart and let go? Because there's something about you have a fear base of letting this go. And you have to dig deep within yourself and say, why do I fear letting this person go? Is it because they're amazing in bed? Is it because they're really attractive? Like could be a superficial reason, but you have to look internally. It's not about the outside. It's about how does it make you feel on the inside, and you feel drained. So you have to ask yourself, really, why am I holding on to this person? Really, what is the benefit here? All right, let's see what the hidden truth is, Taurus, for you. Welcome in. Welcome in. Thank you for joining the live. Hi, Mandy. Hi, Pamela. All right, Taurus, what is your person's hidden truth? Please like the video and comment when you come in. I would appreciate it. Thank you for joining the live. Stick around to the end for ask a question, get an answer. All right, Taurus. Your person's hidden truth. I lost myself for a while. I wish I could share my good news with you, and you inspire me. Hidden at the bottom of the deck. I have too much to lose. This could be somebody who's already in a relationship with somebody else. So, all right, let's move on to Gemini. All right. Gemini. Okay. All right, Gemini, you versus your person. Hi, Sally. How are you doing? Hi, Deanna. Good morning. We are on Gemini, you versus your person. Hi, Kim. Oh, you're Gemini? Okay, let's see. Let's see. You're Gemini too, Pharrell? All right. Hi there from Cape Breton, Matilda. All right, Gemini. Your energy is the Knight of Wands in reverse. You're a little bit maybe lacking discipline when it comes to this person. You could feel like maybe you overgive or overindulge. Your person's in the Knight of Pentacles, but it's in the upright. So they're a little more practical, a little more maybe laid back. The energy between the two of you is the Emperor in reverse. You could work with each other. This could be a workplace situation. Why are you in the Knight of Wands in reverse? The Wheel of Fortune in reverse, the Devil in reverse, and the Knight of Cups in reverse. Wow. Okay. Well, you are trying to assert yourself. Maybe you're trying to like show off your talents, show off who you are to this person. This person's just not like starting the engine to get this moving. And you feel like, you know what, I'm not disciplined. I feel like I'm out of control. I'm, doing my hair and I'm wearing nice clothes and I'm smelling good and I'm making myself really out there and they're just not picking up what I'm putting down. Well, your person's really kind of a slow turtle at this point with the Knight of Pentacles. They're a little more practical, especially if this is a workplace situation. They're also really smart, really intelligent. But you need to allow this person to do their thing because we've got the Two of Cups, the Ace of Cups, and the Two of Swords, but it's in reverse. Now, this person is a little overly cautious, especially if this is a workplace romance. They see the potential with the two of you. They see you. You don't have to do anything else. They see you. They see exactly what you're doing. You just have to allow them to step into it. So if you are a female, I want you to get into your feminine energy and allow this person to come towards you because this person does like you. They do see who you are. They see exactly what you're doing and they are interested, but they're feeling a little bit like, I need to be smart about this, especially if this is a workplace romance. They do not want to risk their job, especially if they're the boss. They know that they need to be disciplined and they don't want to be lacking that discipline. So the likely outcome is the Fool, the Ace of Wands reverse, Three of Swords in reverse, bottom of the deck, Nine of Swords in reverse, the Death in reverse, and the Hierophant in reverse. Here's the thing is this person knows, especially if this is a workplace and this is a boss, that they cannot abuse their power. They want you, they like you, they're interested in you. They would love to take this leap of faith, but they're afraid if they do, they're going to get released, they're going to get fired, they're going to lose their job. So unfortunately, I don't see this person being able to come towards you right now. What would change in order for this person to come towards you and actually expose that they do feel the same thing about you, what you're doing? They would either have to just say, you know what, I don't care if I lose my job, I'm just going to do it anyway. Or they would have to feel inspired to get support from higher up. So they would basically need to make sure that there's no way that their job would be at risk if they came towards you. Maybe they would look into like the documentation at the employment handbook to say, can we date employees? So that's what they would have to do. I see that they may try to do that here in the near future. I see that a cycle may start in the near future with this person. So, all right, you could be dealing with an earth sign, a water sign, a Libra, a Capricorn, a Scorpio, a Gemini, a Leo, a Libra, a Pisces, a Cancer, a Taurus, an Aries, a Capricorn, Scorpio, or a Leo. All right, let's get you some advice. What's the advice for Gemini? Hi, Linda. How are you? I'm going to do free ask a question, get an answer after the all signs. Thank you for watching me from the Philippines. Welcome to the live. Welcome from, is it Owego, New York? Thank you, Michelle. I appreciate you here. All right, let's see. What is the advice for Gemini? What's your advice? Oh, you got fear. Key and speak up. Okay. So this is opposite of what I said. Give me one more. Okay. So my advice is not to speak up because this person realizes it. I think you need to be able to open the key up, meaning maybe you need to be having a conversation with this person. If this is somebody you like at work, but you're just not saying anything, but you're putting all of it down, they see it, but I think you just need to say, hi, how are you? You need to say something to them. Don't say, oh, do you want to date me? You want to take me on a date? You want to buy me flowers or something? Don't do that. But just open up. So this person actually has the confirmation of how they feel about you is exactly how you feel about them. And when you do, you're going to overcome that fear. You're going to be really appreciative because it feels like you're actually going to open up the portal for this person to go do the research. Like, hey, can I date a coworker? Can I actually date this person? Is it okay? Because they do feel the same way. If you wonder, do they? They do. So that's your advice. All right, let's get the hidden oracle messages. Yeah, this one wanted to come out. I have too much to lose. So they could be in management. They could be an executive level. They could be your boss. Let's see here. Gemini, what is your person's hidden truth, Gemini? Hi, Amy. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Anna. I see life differently. You know why? Because they had the Two of Cups. They see you as somebody they maybe never expected to meet, or they never expected to feel so drawn to. So you feel drawn to this person. They feel the same way. I don't react when people mention you. That's because they don't want people to see that they get really, like, their heart race, and they get really excited because they can't wait till they see you in the office to see what you're wearing, to see how you smell, to see what your interaction is. Okay. I don't want to know. I'm hearing that song. I don't want to know if you're playing me, keep it on the low, or something like that. So this person doesn't want to know if you have somebody else because they fantasize about you as much as you're fantasizing about them. Okay. All right, let's move on to Cancer. 2153. All right, Cancer. Hi, Emerald. How are you? Hi, Steffi. I'm going to do ask a question, get an answer after the all signs. So stick around to the end. All right, Cancer, you versus your person. What's going on here? You and your person, Cancer placements. You're in the Magician in reverse. So you're really trying to figure out what to do when it comes to this person. There could be a lack of poor planning. You may not be able to see crystal clear what this person is thinking. Well, this person is in the Knight of Swords in reverse. So you could find that maybe you had a lot of communication with this person and then things just died off, that you haven't heard from them and you're like trying to figure out why haven't I heard from them? What's going on? Okay. Well, the energy between the two of you is the Page of Cups. So if you did try to engage with this person, you reached out and they didn't respond. It does look like this person is a little bit like maybe behind the times with missing this opportunity. So let's clarify. Why are you in the Magician? You feel like they manipulated you. Did you sleep with this person? We got the Lovers, the Sun in reverse, and the Nine of Cups. You thought that there was going to be success. You were confident that if you slept with this person, you spent time with them, that it was going to come back around. And they've delayed maybe calling you or texting you or responding to you, and you've reached out. And now you're trying to figure out, was I used? Was I taken advantage of? Well, your person's in the Knight of Swords in reverse. So let's clarify. King of Cups reverse, Six of Wands reverse, the Queen of Wands reverse. This person's a liar and they're very manipulative. I think you know that because you have the Magician in reverse. You feel like they took advantage of you. They took your kindness for weakness and they've disappointed you. And that's exactly what's happened. So likely outcome is the Four of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles in reverse, the Eight of Wands in reverse, and the Seven of Swords at the bottom of the deck. I'm sorry. This person is a turkey. They're going to hold back from you. And you're going to hold on, or maybe try to hold on to the hope that maybe you'll get a response. I think you have to accept that you can't be confused anymore, that this is going to be a missed opportunity. That if you delay waiting for this person, you may be waiting for a very long time. And I don't want to see you lose all hope and feel sad when you've made your effort, you've made it known what you want or your intentions, and they're just not reciprocating. Okay. Well, let's get you some advice. You could be dealing with a Sagittarius, a Taurus, a Capricorn, a Pisces, a Leo, an Aries, an Aquarius, a Cancer sign, a Gemini, a Leo, and a Pisces. So let's get you some advice, Cancer. For those Cancer placements that are in the middle of this situation, what is going to be the best piece of advice? What is going to be the guidance they need to know? What do they need to hear? Hi, Mary Beth. How are you? What's the best piece of advice for those with Cancer placements? Spend some time in solitude and unchain yourself from this turkey and let it go. This person is somebody that you may put yourself in a holding pen for far too long. And when there's a sense of uncertainty and you want to know, is the answer yes or is the answer no? If it's uncertain, you always have to lean to, I guess it's a no, Because if it was a yes, there would be a confirmation of yes. And right now you're being asked to spend time in solitude so that you can unchain whatever emotions or feelings that you have and do some journaling, do some meditating, write out, do something creative to let go of the emotions and the feelings that you have in regards to what happened in the situation, especially if you do feel taken advantage of, or you do feel like they used you. It's time for you to say, you know what? I deserve better. I deserve to not sit here and wait for somebody who doesn't want to give me the respect to give me an answer. And here you're being asked to say, you know what? I'm going to let it go and I'm going to move away from this and unchain yourself from an expectation. Okay, so let's get some hidden truth for Cancer placements. What is the hidden truth? Hi, Stephanie. Thank you. How are you doing? Hi, Emerald. Welcome into the live. Thank you guys for joining the live. I apologize for yesterday. I don't know what happened with my StreamYard. And then I couldn't get Facebook to go live. I was struggling yesterday, okay? I apologize about that again. But I'm back today. I'm trying to go live every day, so we'll see how that works out. All right, Cancer, what's the hidden truth? I feel so drawn to you, but it was in reverse. So they're not feeling drawn towards you. My life is not as together as it seems. This could be one of the reasons why they are not coming towards you. And I'm recovering, which is also in reverse. So this person could have substance issues. They could have vice issues. Okay, let's move on to Leo. Leo. 2718. All right, Leo, placements. You versus your person. Hi, Kelly. How are you? I figured it was, yeah, it was technical. I don't even know. And you know what's weird is the live I did, not yesterday, but the day before, it never uploaded. I couldn't find it on Facebook at all. When I went back in to do the timestamps, I'm like, what happened? I don't know. StreamYard, I think, had some issues. And we're not even in Mercury retrograde yet, so I don't know. But I'm not going to give up. I'm not a quitter. That's one thing about me is I don't give up very easily on things. So, all right. Leo placements, you versus your person. Are you mirroring each other or are you on completely different pages? Let's find out. Leo, your energy, the 3 of Cups. So there's a sense of indulgence. You're happy with this person. You're socializing. You're connecting. Maybe you recently reunited with this person. Your person's in the Devil in reverse. So they're breaking free from something in the past, something that they maybe have vice or addiction issues or a negative pattern or belief system about themselves. They are releasing from that. This feels like a reconciliation. Between the two of you, it does look like there's something about really just facing life head on when it comes to the two of you. So why are you in the 3 of Cups? We've got the Queen of Swords in reverse, the 8 of Cups in reverse, and the Ace of Pentacles. So at one point, you were really unforgiving of this person. Maybe you didn't want this person. Maybe you lacked the drive or the ambition because maybe they were not empathetic, especially if they were in that devil energy in the past. You felt a sense of maybe they were trapped within their own thoughts. Maybe they had mental health issues or substance issues. Either way, there was something that they needed to get under control within their life that was maybe impacting this relationship. Now, with you, you were maybe very critical of it, but things have turned around. This person has come back, and now you really feel that there's a sense of, you know what, I want this to be stable, but I am a little bit scared that it's not going to be stable. Now, your person's in the Devil in reverse, so we've got the 5 of Wands, the Magician reverse, and the Chariot. So they definitely have something mentally that they've been going through. They've been challenged. They've been putting up a fight. Sometimes when we're fighting our soul, it's like the battle people don't realize. It emanates on the outside, but you don't really see the battle on the inside. It looks like your person is really going through some things mentally, and they have the ability to overcome it because we do have the Devil in reverse. So this could be a long road of recovery for them. And it looks like that's what this is, the energy between the two of you. Your person maybe is trying to recover their soul and their life path and their journey, and you're both trying to recover the relationship. The outcome is the Fool, the 5 of Pentacles, the King of Cups in reverse, the 8 of Wands, the 4 of Pentacles, and the 5 of Swords. There is a little bit of remorse, it looks like, on your person's part that they're bringing back into the situation. But I do see that you both are wanting this, even though it may be hard to come back, especially when trust has been compromised with whatever this was for your person. It does look like it will be a little bit of a challenge to get where you want to be. But as long as you kind of hold on to the integrity of you want to reestablish the foundation, it's kind of like building a house. You got to start with the foundation before you can put the walls and the electrical and everything else up. So your person, it looks like, is trying to overcome something. And they are working on it, but they may not be fully there in their power. And it may take a little bit longer to reestablish that foundation in here. All right. So you could be dealing with an Aquarius, a Capricorn, a Sagittarius, a Pisces, a Taurus, a Capricorn, a Pisces, a Libra, a water sign, Gemini, Capricorn, a Leo, a water sign or Cancer. All right. Let's get some advice for Leo. All right, Leo. Hi, Rebecca. Thank you for joining my live. I appreciate it. Hi, Christy. Hi, Amy. Hi, Amy. Welcome in. If you guys could please like the live and comment, I would appreciate it. Thank you for joining my live. All right. What is the advice for Leo in this situation? I'm going to do ask a question, get an answer for free after the live, all signs. So stick around to the end. Leo, what's your advice? Rugged road. It might be a little bit of a rugged road. It might be a little difficult, especially, like I said, when trust has been compromised. But you have the key. Maybe your person has the lock, or you have the key to unlock the potential of reconciliation and understanding why both of you have had to go through this. Energy dispersal, excuse me. You may also need to make sure that your energy is not spread too thin. If you feel like this relationship, this situation with this person is taking more from you than giving, you may have to put certain boundaries in place upon this reconciliation. And that's going to be the first step, is understanding what is this connection, whether it's a friend or romantic, whatever it is for your specific situation. Okay. So let's get some hidden truth for Leos. What is the hidden truth for Leo? Hi, Elaine. Hi, Lottie. Hi, Susan. Hope you're having a good day. Thank you for joining my live. I appreciate it. All right, Leo, what's your hidden truth? Your person's thinking or feeling, but they haven't told you. What's the hidden truth? Leo. Oh, they love you, Leo. Oh, that's so nice. I know I was a distraction from your pain, and I daydream about a life with you. Oh, that's beautiful. All right. Let's move on to a Virgo. Virgo, 3328. You're coming in after the live started. I will put the timestamps after the live. We are on a Virgo right now. You versus your person, Virgo. What's going on? Are you mirroring each other, or are you on completely different pages? Virgo and their person. Hi, Amy. Thank you. Hi, Sue. How are you doing? Hi, Charmaine. All right, Virgo, your energy. The Knight of Cups in reverse. Okay, so you may not be being fully honest or transparent with your person. You could be a little bit of a heartbreaker. Your person's energy is the Queen of Wands in reverse. They could be a little bit vengeful. They could also be a little bit of a liar. Maybe not honest. They could be a little bit pushy too. The energy between the two of you is the Four of Pentacles. So you both are holding back a little bit, but you're also holding on to each other. You're both a little bit possessive too, or maybe possessive of what's happening here. So let's clarify. Why are you in the Knight of Cups in reverse, Virgo? The Devil in reverse, the Nine of Swords in reverse, and the Seven of Swords. Virgo, what are you doing? You're breaking free from something. You're giving up. It could be out of negativity or complete guilt. There's a sense of, you know what? I need to just let go of certain aspects. You could be a little bit moody too. Maybe you're just having a really bad day. Your person's a little bit demanding with that Queen of Wands. Let's see here. What's going on with your person? Why are they in the Queen of Wands in reverse? Knight of Wands reverse, Four of Cups reverse, the Seven of Pentacles reverse. This person is not going to invest if they feel like you're not investing either. You guys are both kind of mirroring each other instead of like coming towards each other. You're holding on, but you're also backing down from each other. Why is the Four of Pentacles here between the two of you? What is this? Eight of Cups reverse, Ace of Pentacles reverse, and the Nine of Wands. There has been a persistent lack of honesty between the two of you. Neither one of you are being honest. Why are you not being honest with your person? What's going on here? You could feel like your person is a little bit impatient, a little bit hasty with their communication. Your person feels like you're in denial of something about a disastrous situation. All right, what's the likely outcome here? 10 of Wands, Page of Cups, and the Temperance. Four of Swords reverse, King of Wands reverse. You could be married. Nine of Cups. Okay, you both have problems and you both are blaming the other person instead of taking the own accountability for each other or for yourself. Both of your inner voices are saying, hey, you know what? I should probably do some work, but you're both looking at it from your own perspective, not the other person's. There's a lack of perspective here. As much as you both want to be with each other, you're still with each other is what it looks like, but there's almost like you're lying to yourself about what needs to be healed because we have this Temperance in reverse. So it's almost like I'm not wanting to look at things from your perspective, but you need to look at it from mine, and you're both doing that. So I see you're still, if you're in a relationship, I see you're still together, but you both are not being honest about this. Okay. But you're both of your inner voices are saying, hey, we need to heal things. All right. Well, you could be dealing with a Pisces, a Cancer, a Sagittarius, an air sign, Sagittarius, a Pisces, a Virgo, another Virgo, Sagittarius, Aries, Leo, Gemini, Cancer, Taurus, Capricorn. We got like almost everything out here. Gemini, Capricorn, and Aquarius. All right. Well, let's get you some advice, Virgo. What is the best piece of advice? What is the guidance that you need to know? Okay, I want to tell you this advice before I even pull the cards because I'm feeling intuitively I need to say this. Sometimes what you have to do with a situation like this is you have to say, let me look at it from my person's perspective and get out of your ego instead of looking at it from only your perspective. It takes a lot, but really take yourself out of it and look at it and ask yourself, what happened to them that made them act that way towards me? What is it in their life that impacted them to be that way towards me? Sometimes you can look at a perspective completely different and understand it better instead of looking at it from your own. You have to put yourself in their position. Look at that. Your first piece of advice is compassion. And that's what it is. It's about having compassion, saying, you know what? I need to be gentler with myself and accept my own flaws. And I need to be gentle with my person and accept their flaws. And direction is your second piece of advice. If you want to get out of this sense of uncertainty between the two of you, you have to go in the direction of looking at it from each other's perspective and being compassionate to each other's needs. And then you're going to be victorious. You're going to be able to have victory. If you stay in this victim energy, you both are going to stay in a holding pen. And you don't want to do that. I mean, maybe you do, but most people don't want to stay in that. You don't want to say, oh, I'm okay. But then secretly you're lying to yourself, because you know what that does? It allows you to push your energy down naturally and you become imbalanced and you realize you end up being angry or resentful because you're not really healed. You feel like a victim. You feel like you're compromising something. And then it makes you unhappy. And it comes out in more ways than one, usually not right away. All right, well, let's see what the hidden truth is for you, Virgo. What's your person's hidden truth? What are they thinking? What are they feeling that they haven't told you? The hidden truth for Virgo. Hi, Cherise. Hi, Dana. Thank you for joining my live. All right, this is in reverse. I want you, but it's in reverse. We need to let each other go. I'm starting to understand our connection. That could be the triggering that both of you need to do some work internally. And that could be why your person is thinking, you know what, maybe we need to step back from each other. Maybe we need to take a break and figure our own individual lives out. All right, let's move on to Libra. 4029. All right, Libra. Let's see what's going on with you and your person. Yeah, Dana, Aries was the first one I did. Yes, children can be victims of circumstance or environment too. All right, Libra. The sun is getting really bright in here. So if you guys see me squinting, that's why. I have like super sensitive eyes. I had LASIK eye surgery in like 2006, I think, 2007. So I wear like sunglasses all the time. Hi, Lena. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Jackie. Thank you. Thank you for joining my live. All right, Libra, what's going on? Your energy, Ace of Pentacles reverse. Your person's in the Strength in reverse. The energy between the two of you is the Chariot in reverse. So you are feeling like, you know what? I just don't think this is going to get up off the ground. We're just not getting there. And your person is losing the momentum also. They're kind of getting impatient. They feel like things are just not. And they're also a little bit scared. Maybe they're too intimidated to say something. Between the two of you, the Chariot in reverse, both of you are feeling like, you know what? We're trying to force something and it's just not going anywhere. There's no sense of direction. Why do you have the Ace of Pentacles in reverse? Page of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, and the Magician. You maybe had met this person when you were out and about with friends and you thought that this was somebody that was going to be loyal and faithful and somebody that maybe you could see clearly with, but it looks like it's just kind of stayed in that friend zone. Your person with the Strength in reverse, the Ace of Cups, the Five of Cups reverse, and the Two of Pentacles, they've kind of went back and forth. They really haven't made a decision. They enjoyed the socialization. They enjoyed the companionship. But this person also is somebody who they're not really putting in the resource to make this into a relationship. So you may have had a higher expectation. This person is kind of just lacking taking any type of control. So why is the Chariot in reverse? Three of Wands reverse, the Ten of Pentacles reverse, the Queen of Wands. You may have met this person through family or friends. It's kind of been a little bit of a disaster because you haven't been satisfied because you've been wanting this person to maybe take you on a date or spend more time with you, and it just hasn't happened. So what's the likely outcome? Seven of Swords. And you know what I was going to say before that Seven of Swords came out? I was going to say, oh, you know, maybe this person lied about getting it up off the ground. Ace of Swords reverse, the Five of Wands, the Queen of Cups, the Empress in reverse, and the Seven of Pentacles. There's no investment. There's a lack of growth, and it could be, you may be disappointed to hear this, but I'm going to be honest. If there's one thing you guys are going to get from me, I'm going to be honest, is this person is kind of lazy. They don't really want to put in the effort when it comes to relationship. It's kind of like they just want to order Amazon, you know, like Instacart somebody and then just let that person do all the work. And this person's not doing any of the work. So I think even if you continue to lie to yourself and say, oh, I think it's going to work out because we had a great time when we met, I think you're going to be in denial of yourself and you're going to stay stuck. And then you're going to be mad at yourself if you keep investing. So this is a newer person than you met them when you were out with friends or a family member introduced you. I think you have to accept that it's just not going to go anywhere. Okay, so you could be dealing with a Taurus, a Earth sign, a Cancer, an Aquarius, a Libra, a Leo, a Scorpio, Capricorn, a Pisces, an Aries, a Leo, a Virgo, a Cancer, an Aries, a Capricorn, a Cancer. All right, let's get you some advice. Libra, what is going to be the best piece of advice? What is going to be the guidance? Hi, Red Apple. How are you? Welcome in. Oh, you're waiting for Capricorn? Okay, let's see what we got here for Libra. We're going to do Capricorn here in just a little bit. We're on Libra. What's the advice for Libra in this situation? Oh, my deck is like all mixed up. Rugged road. Here's the thing. I'm hearing rugged road to recovery. So if you continue to be on this unicycle, on this motorcycle by yourself, trying to get this unstuck all by yourself, it's going to be a rough road. And you have to realize that this is a path of the unknown that you may have to just let it go. You may have to move away from this. Yep, go with the flow. Here's the thing. The best piece of advice I can give anybody is if it is something you have to keep fighting for, and it is making you internally stirring all the time, you have to say, you know what, let's just see what happens. Let me just go with the flow. If they call, they call. If they don't, they don't. But I'm going to keep moving forward regardless of the situation. And if you don't, this is what happens. You sink in the lack mindset. And it's like the poverty where you rob yourself from new experiences that are potentially wanting to come towards you. So just go with the flow. And if they don't call, they don't call, and onward and upward. All right, let's get some hidden truth of what this person might be thinking, what they might be not telling you. What is the hidden truth for Libra's person? What's the hidden truth? I'm not available. I am so attracted to you. So they were physically attracted to you, and I'm not over you. Okay, so this sounds like somebody like, did you ever, like when you're little, you ever had like Tonka trucks, or you had like Barbie dolls or baby dolls that you play with them for a little while and then you put them down. You're like, oh, I don't want to play with them for a while. That's kind of what this feels like. Don't wait for them to pick up and want to play with you. Just move away from that. All right, Scorpio. 4635. All right, Scorpio, you versus your person. Hi, Hade. Scorpio, you versus your person. Hi, Letitia. Hi, BMS from Australia. Watching from Bahrain. I don't even know where that is. Where is that at, Red Apple? Where is that at? I don't know where that is. Thank you for joining my live. All right, Scorpio, you versus your person. What's going on here? Scorpio and their person. Scorpio. Your energy. Ooh, the Two of Cups. Okay. Your person's energy. The Eight of Wands. All right. Energy between the two of you is the Empress. So you're in the Two of Cups. So you're connecting with this person. You could feel like, you know what? I think we're really compatible. I think this is or was a very strong partnership at one point. But your person's in the Eight of Wands, so they're not communicating. Maybe you guys had a fight. So why are you in the Two of Cups? Let's clarify here. The Death card reverse, the Fool, and the Hermit. So something has been on rinse and repeat with you and this person. And it could be that this person has blocked you. They have went silent on you. They have felt a sense of maybe delay. And now you're left to your own mindset to figure out why, when you thought this person was somebody who cared a lot about you. Maybe at one point you really thought this was your person with the Two of Cups. Well, it looks like this person has lost the momentum to come towards you. They might be confused. They're definitely delaying communications. You're probably in no contact. Why is this? Eight of Pentacles reverse, the Lovers, and the Page of Cups. This person is lacking the commitment and the drive. They are attracted to you. There was maybe a relationship at one point between the two of you, but it does look like this person's inner voice is telling them that they need to work more, meaning they maybe are putting a relationship to the wayside and focusing just on work. Because right now we do have the Empress in reverse between the two of you. So things are very stuck. There is a blockage here. We've got the Judgment reverse, Eight of Swords reverse, and the Hierophant reverse. So they are not willing to make a change in the current energy. Their solution is that they need to just go work. Maybe they have a lot of debt. Maybe they have a lot of bills. That is where their drive is. It's not love. All right. Well, what's the likely outcome? 10 of Wands, 3 of Cups, Ace of Wands, Temperance reverse, 7 of Swords, and the 9 of Pentacles. Here's the thing. This person is going to friend zone you. At some point, they're going to come through. They're going to give you communication. They're going to say, you know what? I don't want to miss out on this initiative of this business opportunity, or going back to school, or starting this new job that I really want to grow in that company. I want to elevate up. I want to move up the corporate ladder. And they're going to tell you, we can be friends. But here's the thing. They really are just codependent on wanting to come back whenever they desire, meaning they kind of want to just keep you as a hanging branch available when they're ready. And that's kind of not fair. That's kind of tricking you into thinking or believing that if you wait long enough, eventually they're going to come back. It's almost like giving you just a little shimmer of hope that one day potentially you're going to come back together, because they do have the Gemini lovers card here and you do have the Two of Cups. So you do know at some point there was a significant bond that you did feel with this person and they did feel with you, but their energy has shifted. They've kind of went in a different direction. Because of the parting of the ways, they're going to friend zone you, but it's with the intention of maybe one day. And they may say that, well, maybe one day or later on after I accomplish this goal. And it's putting you in this holding pin. So that's kind of what's happening here. So you could be dealing with a Virgo, an Aquarius, a Sagittarius, a Cancer sign, an Aries, a Taurus, a Virgo, Gemini, Cancer, Sag, Gemini, a Cancer, a Virgo, a lot of Virgo here, Scorpio. All right, let's get you some advice. All right, Scorpio, what is going to be the best piece of advice? What's going to be the guidance for you? Those that are in this situation, what is the best piece of advice at this time? Release. It says you're being asked to break free from the relationship or situation. It's going to restrict your growth potential. And you know what? The next piece of advice is stay present, meaning don't get stuck in thinking about the past nonstop or worrying about, is this person going to come back in the future like they're going to tell you they may do? You need to see clearly of living in the present moment and releasing any type of expectation when it comes to this person. And slow down. You don't have to rush and go find somebody else to replace this person. You don't have to rush into another relationship. You know, you're one version before a relationship, you're different during, and then you become a reformed version after a relationship. So you're being asked to slow down and really get reacclimated with who you are today in the present moment. All right, let's get some hidden truth oracle messages for Scorpio. What do you need to know? Hi, Jackie. Do you record your live? You know, I do it through StreamYard BMS. So I don't know. StreamYard's been kind of wacky to me the last couple of days because I did one 2 days ago. It didn't upload and it was like 2 hours. And then the one yesterday, the volume and the video didn't work. So I don't know what is going on. We're not even quite in Mercury retrograde yet. Oh, thank you, Letitia. I appreciate it. Hi, Sherry. Good afternoon. All right, Scorpio, what is the hidden truth? What is your person thinking or feeling they haven't told you? I'm not over you. I hope that you can forgive me one day. This is what they're going to tell you. I want to make amends. I told you they're going to try to put you in a holding pin. Like one day, I think we're going to come back together. One day after I go do this and you go do this and wait on me, I'm going to go over here. And maybe they're going to date other people. Maybe they're going to build a business. Maybe they're going to go back to school. They're going to do something else, but they're going to mentally try to put you in this prison. And if there's one thing I always tell my clients, I always tell people is, don't ever wait on somebody, because yes, they may return, but what if you met somebody else while you're waiting on them? Somebody that's more amazing, that you're more in alignment. That's what going with the flow is. When you put yourself off the market and you don't energetically make yourself available to meet other people, you put yourself in a containment when you're waiting on someone to return. And if they are meant for you, they will return and you'll come into alignment. And if they're not, then you didn't waste any time with putting yourself energetically out there. All right, Sagittarius. All right, Sagittarius. Give me 1 second. All right. My past life with sister is Scorpio. Okay. All right. Okay, when it's Middle East. Oh, okay. Thank you, Red Apple. I didn't know what that was. That's nice. All right, Sagittarius, you versus your person. Are you guys mirroring each other, or are you on completely different pages? All right. Hi, Michelle. All right, Sagittarius, what's going on with you and your person? He goes to in September, told me he had a new woman. Oh, I'm sorry. His loss. Onward, upward, Sherry. All right, Sagittarius, your energy, the Knight of Pentacles. Your person's energy is the Hangman. You could be dealing with a Pisces or a Taurus. The energy between the two of you is the Knight of Wands in reverse. So you are persistently hanging, waiting, analyzing, planning, trying to defend your loyalty and dedication. You're being practical. Queen of Pentacles in reverse, clarifying it. 4 of Wands in reverse, and the 3 of Cups. So you might be spending a lot of time with friends or family, maybe coworkers. But here's the thing is you are not 100% grounded with your efforts because you are wanting potentially reconciliation. You want to defend your loyalty to your person. Well, your person's kind of in crisis mode with the Hangman. They're thinking a lot about the situation and they may be wanting to just let go. They could feel trapped over it. Let's clarify. The Judgment reverse, the King of Cups reverse, the High Priestess in reverse. A lot of reversals today. This person has some unhealed wounds that they have not worked on, so they haven't made the changes. And they are somebody who is a little bit overly emotional. So you may have said something that triggered this person, and now they're like, you know what? I need to just let this go. Because we do have the King of Wands in reverse. So you are maybe just hanging out, waiting for your person to return, but they're kind of impulsively like wanting to run the other direction. Clarifying it, Page of Swords, 6 of Cups, and 6 of Pentacles reverse. You may feel like this person's being immature and selfish. You're a little bit paranoid. Your person's like, you know what? I'm not going to fake it. I'm just not going to respond. Let's see the outcome. The Moon reverse, the 10 of Wands, the 9 of Pentacles, the 8 of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune reverse, the Emperor reverse. You're not going to be satisfied with this, but your intuition is telling you the truth that the cycle needs to close, that this is somebody you should not hold on to anymore, that if you keep waiting through the struggle of this person to return and give you some sense of security or stability, you're going to be waiting for a long time because there's not going to be a change that happens. We've got the World, it's being hidden at the bottom of the deck. And I think intuitively you already know that. This person's kind of lacking the discipline and the integrity to say, hey, I'm just going to let this go. Instead, they're just going to maybe slowly step back, but not really give you that confirmation. And it could be because this person has unhealed wounds that they haven't really addressed within themselves. So you could be dealing with an Aries, a Pisces, a Sag, a Virgo, a Pisces, a water sign, an earth sign, a Scorpio, another Sagittarius, a Libra, a Capricorn, a Taurus, an Aries, or a Cancer. All right, so let's get you some advice, Sagittarius. What is going to be the best piece of advice? What is going to be the guidance? What do you need to know? Hi, Cordell. How are you? Hi, Michelle. All right, what's going to be the best piece of advice for Sagittarius? Trust yourself. I told you your intuition has been telling you. You need to trust the judgment call. Don't listen to your ego. You know, the ego's a monster within itself. It wants to tell you, oh, just wait. They'll come back around. But your intuition, your soul is saying, you know what? Let it go. Let it go. You need to get into your divine feminine. You know, the feminine is a very intuitive energy, and everybody has masculine and feminine. It's not about being a female. It's about understanding that you really need to be listening to that intuition about the situation. And defend your ground, to have the respect and put up clear boundaries. Stand up for yourself. Okay, let's see what the hidden truth is for Sagittarius. It's what your person might be thinking or feeling, but they haven't said. Sagittarius. Hi, Jackie. He lied. She pretended he was living with his cousin. Unfortunately, he's living with his cousin. I'm sorry. All right. What is your person thinking and feeling? They haven't said. I can't reach out. I'm waiting patiently. I can be myself with you. Okay. All right, let's move on to Capricorn. Capricorn. 5944. Hold on, I gotta blow my nose. My nose is running. Hi, Heidi. All the time. If it's not your read, it's not your read. Not every reading is going to resonate. Every reading you watch that you're drawn to, you only take what resonates. When your intuition tells you, you know what, this is my reading, then that's what you are needing to use. And if it's not your reading, it's not your reading. It's meant for somebody else, and that's okay. Hi, Sarah. No, I'm doing Capricorn right now. I got Capricorn, Aquarius, and then we're going to do Pisces. And then we're going to do bonus, ask a question, get an answer. All right. Capricorn, you versus your person. Are you mirroring each other? Or are you on completely different pages? Let's find out. Your energy is the Four of Wands reversed. Your person's energy is the Knight of Pentacles. You could be dealing with Sag. Energy between the two of you is the Hierophant reverse. So you feel like you've really argued with this person a lot. There's been a lot of conflict. There's been a lot of disruption. You could be somebody who maybe you were living with this person and maybe you've moved out of the home. There's an instability here. Why is the Four of Wands your energy? The Fool, the Seven of Swords, and the Judgment. Were you trying to be sneaky? You were trying to do something behind your person's back and they kicked you out? Because your person's in the energy of, you know what, I'm being practical. I'm loyal, I'm dedicated, I'm persistent, and I don't deserve this. Ten of Pentacles in reverse. This person feels also the Six of Wands in reverse. They're disappointed. They're disgraced over what's happened, and the Justice. If you're married to this person and they kicked you out, Capricorn, they could be getting ready to, whatever you've caused, the effect, the ripple effect could be that justice will be served. They may be filing for legal divorce or separation. Now, if you're not married to this person, it looks like you are feeling like it's just not working. You aren't really wanting to tell this person it's not working, and you've been kind of delaying the inevitable. Well, your person's kind of waiting. They kind of know and they're disappointed, but they want you to just say the truth with the Justice. They're waiting for you to tell them the truth. There is a lack of commitment between the two of you. There's also guilt on somebody's part. Four of Cups reverse, Knight of Cups reverse, and the Knight of Swords. Somebody maybe went outside the relationship. In Capricorn, it's leaning more towards you, that maybe you cheated on your person or you lied to them. If it is your story, take it. If it's not, don't take it, okay? Now, it looks like there was a one-night stand potentially here that has left your person trying to ask why. Why did this even happen? Why are we even going through this? Likely outcome, the Death card reverse, the Ten of Swords, the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, the Ace of Swords in reverse, the Three of Swords in reverse, and the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. There's a lot of excessive instability here between you and your person. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of stress. You both are struggling. You're both kind of burned out. And you both are not really making any changes. You're kind of just staying stuck. You could be dealing with a Scorpio, a Libra, Capricorn, another Capricorn, a Virgo, a Sagittarius, a Scorpio, an Aquarius, a Earth sign, a Libra, a Leo, Taurus, Cancer, fire sign, Aquarius, or a fire sign. Let's get you some advice, Capricorn. What is it you need to know? What do you need to hear? Yes, I already did Virgo, Brenda. It is timestamp 33:28. You have to scroll back on the live. I'll put the timestamps after the live's over. All right, Capricorn, what is your best piece of advice? Capricorn. Let it go. Let it go. All right. Call of courage. It's asking you to be very courageous to make the choice of what do you want to experience and feel liberation. And then you need to do a little bit of self-reflection to really understand what recent choices you've made. If you're the one who went outside the relationship, you really have to go within and say, you know, why did I step out of my relationship with my person? And it's not about your person. It's about within you. You have to answer that question. That's why Reflect is here. You have to really go within your own emotions and answer that question. All right, let's see. What is the hidden truth for Capricorn's person? Something your person might not be saying or letting you know. Hi, Mark. Letitia, Cancer was 2153 if you want to scroll back. All right, what is Capricorn's person's hidden truth? We will be together again. I don't want to let you go. I'm hearing that song. I don't want to know if you're playing me, keep it on the low. Something like that. I left when I saw you with somebody. Okay. All right, let's move on to Aquarius. Aquarius. 105, 18. All right, Aquarius. All right. You versus your person. Are you mirroring each other or are you on completely different pages? Let's find out. Aquarius and their person. Aquarius. All right, your energy, the 5 of Pentacles. Your person's energy is the Emperor in reverse. The energy between the two of you is the 9 of Pentacles. You're really going through it. You feel like a sense of abandonment or you're at a loss. You feel like this person is neglected you. Why the 5 of Pentacles? The 4 of Wands reverse, the Ace of Cups, and the 3 of Wands in reverse. You may be struggling. This could be a newer person that maybe you knew them a long time ago and then you reconnected, or it's just a straight up new person. You thought maybe socializing with this person was going to lead to something more. Looks like you're not satisfied with the way things have come. Your person's in the Emperor in reverse. So it looks like they are being a little bit stubborn. They've also made a little bit bad decisions. 6 of Cups, clarifying it. They're childish and immature. Judgment and the 8 of Swords. For a lot of you, this is somebody from the past that you grew up with, maybe you went to school with, you reconnected maybe through social media or through someone else. This person also, you know, they were kind at first, but now they're kind of just acting childish and immature. There is a failure that has happened between the two of you. There's a lack of investment. The Sun in reverse, the 4 of Pentacles, and the 4 of Cups is in reverse. So it's kind of like, as quick as it got started, as quick as it ended. So you may feel like this person gave you a false impression that things are really good. Maybe you talked for a couple of weeks and then you finally met in person again, or it's a newer person. You talked a lot and then you met in person and then that's it. It just kind of fell off is what it feels like. What's the likely outcome? Wheel of Fortune in reverse, the Hangman, the 8 of Swords, the Knight of Wands in reverse, the 7 of Swords in reverse, and the 10 of Cups in reverse. Yeah. I don't think that anything's going to really change. I think there is this, I want to reach out. I want to see if I can recover this. This may be on your part. But I think that you were falsified from the get-go, that this person maybe said they were this person. Maybe they even said they were single, but they weren't, if it's a new person. If it's somebody from the past, they maybe were a pathological liar. Use your intuition, but I think that you're going to withdraw after making an attempt one more time to try to reach out to this person, and you're going to find that it falls upon no response. All right. Well, you could be dealing with a Pisces, Aquarius, a Sag, a fire sign, a Leo, double Leo, Capricorn, Cancer, Aries, Gemini, Libra, Scorpio, Virgo, Taurus, water sign, fire sign, fire sign. Let's get you some advice, Aquarius. All right. What is going to be the best piece of advice? What is the guidance for Aquarius placements? Hi, Samina. Thank you for joining my live. Welcome, welcome. Well, have a good day at work, Mark. If you have to go, I understand. Thank you for joining my live. All right, Aquarius advice. Learn the book of love. I think that came up in a reading I did. That song. Chapter 1, you love her with all your heart. This might have been your first love from high school. Chapter 2, you remember, I ain't never gonna part. Chapter 3, you remember the meaning of romance. Chapter 4, you break up, but you give it one more chance. Learn the knowledge of the book of love. All right. Protect your boundaries. You're being asked to protect this person that you maybe was your first love, or somebody who sold you that they maybe were going to be somebody you loved as a newer connection. Realize that this person is not in the same mindset, maybe emotional state. They were maybe selling you something that was not true. So now you're being asked to protect your boundaries. And you're being called to just let go of any judgment. You know, everybody has free will. If they want to be a liar, that's fine, but they don't have to entertain your life or your space. And that's why you're being asked to protect your boundaries. All right. Well, let's see. What is the hidden truth for this person? What are they thinking? They might be feeling, but they're just not telling you. I am on Aquarius right now. Hi, Annie. I am going to do Pisces next. Then we're going to do ask a question, get an answer for a couple minutes. Okay. Thank you guys for joining the live. I appreciate it. I appreciate you commenting and liking the live. It does help me out. All right, Aquarius, what are they thinking and feeling, but they haven't said? I feel the sexual tension. Maybe you guys hooked up. I couldn't let you get close to me. Yeah, because then you may actually know that they were lying. So many things remind me of you. That might have been something they actually said to you. All right, let's move on to Pisces. 111 Pisces, you might be seeing 111 on your angel numbers. All right, Pisces. All right. You versus your person, Pisces. What is it you need to know? What is it you need to hear that's going to serve your highest good, Pisces? Are you mirroring each other or are you on completely different pages? Hi, Kismet. Yes, I've done Capricorn. Capricorn is timestamp 5944. And I will put the timestamps after the live, okay? All right, Pisces. Let's see here. You versus your person. Pisces. Okay, your energy, the Knight of Wands in reverse. Your person's energy is the Knight of Cups in reverse. The energy between the two of you is the Moon in reverse. So you could have maybe been a little overly confident when it came to your person. Why is that? 9 of Swords in reverse, the Star in reverse, and the Page of Wands. You had a lot of phone calls, a lot of communication with this person, and you had this idea that maybe you had it in the bag, that you had this person, and it looks like there's been a missed opportunity. Something has collapsed. You were a little bit overconfident that you were maybe the only one, because I do see they've got the Knight of Cups, so they were being deceptive. They're a manipulator or a cheater. Clarifying that, the King of Swords, 3 of Swords in reverse, and the 3 of Pentacles. This person was very motivated by somebody. They could be in the military. They could have been motivated by somebody at work that said, oh, you know what? It's okay if you're married. It's okay if you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend back home, but you should still talk to other people. It's good to have that companionship, and just tell them you're single, but you're not really single. You'll never meet them, so don't worry about it. That's what this energy feels like. So the energy between the two of you is the Moon in reverse. Truthfully, you're unhappy, but your intuition was blocked when it came to this. And it could be that this person told you, hey, I'm working all the time. You try to call them, you couldn't get a hold of them. They'd always say, I'm at work. Well, really, it was because they either were home with their significant other, or they were married, or they had somebody else. There was a sense of they didn't really want to reveal the truth to you. So what's the likely outcome? The World in reverse, the 2 of Wands, 3 of Wands in reverse, the Strength in reverse, the Ace of Cups, and the King of Wands in reverse. So if this person is at a distance from you, I do see that they're kind of a weakling because they're not telling you the truth. You're going to feel disappointed because you are almost like being forced through the tunnel of closing it out all by yourself. Like you're not going to get the closure that you anticipate because this person lacks the confidence to actually have integrity and be honest with you. And it looks like because of that, you thought, connecting with this person, it may have turned into something. You thought it was in the bag because the communication was great, but you have to accept that this person was not being honest with you. And that's the reason why they've kind of fallen upon the wayside, or they fell down the rabbit hole and you never heard from them again. And this person, it does look like they were motivated or convinced by potentially coworkers or friends to do this. And they maybe have pulled back because they felt the guilt. They felt like, you know what, being manipulative isn't what I want to do. And they, instead of telling you, they just ran away. So you could be dealing with a Sagittarius, a Scorpio, a Leo, a Virgo, an Aries, Capricorn, Scorpio, Libra, air sign, earth sign, a Pisces, a Leo, a Gemini, a Sag, and an Aquarius, excuse me. All right, well, let's get you some advice. Pisces, what is it you need to know? What is it you need to hear? Not married, he cheated. Oh, I'm sorry, Anna. All right, what's the advice? I don't even know how to say this. Sisyphus? You're caught in a repeated pattern, unable to make new choices in the current situation. Release outdated beliefs and connect with your intuition to get new insight. So if you have found that this isn't the first person, you've had this pattern repeatedly with people where maybe they live at a distance or they tell you they're working and you've never been to their house, they never taken you on a date, they always have excuses why they don't answer the phone. There's a repeated pattern. You may have to look back, maybe even write it down to kind of see visually to connect the dots. And when you do, and you connect with your higher self that says, hey, I'm not going to ignore the red flags when they don't take me out. They don't ever answer the phone when I call. They maybe shut their phone off at night or whatever weirdness that they do. When you connect with your intuition, it's going to say, hey, we're going to put boundaries in place because we know this person's doing something they're not supposed to be doing. They're sneaky. They're acting sneaky. And when you do that and you connect with your intuition, you have abundance that's waiting for you. You just have to maneuver through the terrain of the deceptive people and move around them. Don't walk and stay in the energy with them. Yeah, there's unexpected opportunities once you do the work. So I would say work on that. All right, what is the hidden truth for a Pisces person? What are they thinking, but they have not told you? What are they thinking or feeling? Pisces, 2 more shuffles. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. And it's been repeated. Yeah. I never tell people if they should stay or go. I can tell you if you feel a sense of uncertainty and inconsistency just like this and it feels like it's repeat, that means there's things that you have to address within yourself as to why your intuition maybe has been blocked. Why is it blocked? And sometimes what happens is you get gaslit. You know, you get gaslit by somebody telling you what you want to hear because the ego likes it, but your higher self is saying, hey, it's a red flag. Your intuition is trying to see clearly. All right, I hid my feelings. Just being near you is intoxicating. So they might have been caught up in the euphoric energy of maybe you guys talked on video chat or something like that. Will you ever make things right? So this is somebody who likes to play the blame game, and I need security. All right. Okay. You loved him. Yeah, it's hard when you love somebody, but here you have to ask yourself, do you love him for him or do you love him for the version of you, of the potential of who he could be? You have to ask yourself that. And what are you giving up within yourself of your own happiness to give him that love? That's some of the questions that you have to kind of ask when you're going through that process. All right. We are going to move into bonus. Ask a question, get an answer. Anybody that's left on the live, thank you for sticking around. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. Please like the live, put comments. The way ask a question, get an answer works, if you've never been on my live, is you just put one question in the comments. I don't scroll back up. Whatever question I see, I go through and I answer your questions. And then that's it. If you want an in-depth reading, check out my website, TimelessDivineTarot.com. Or if you want to do a live Zoom reading, those are on the website. Okie dokie. Let's get started. Dana, my marriage, please. What do you mean? What's going on in your marriage? Or are you going to get married? You're going to have to re-put that in. I don't know what the question is. All right. Let's see here. Did Vinny ever love me? I think he holds back when it comes to love. He's got a lot of extra responsibilities and burdens. He doesn't have love in his heart right now. Shelly, what's next for you in love? Well, I see somebody's going to try to spin the block with you. This is somebody that you really try to make it work with this person, but they were not cooperative in the past. They could have Earth in their chart. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. They are going to want to come back, but they're going to want to take it slow. Amy, is Michael sleeping with a third party? No, but you know what? In the near future, he may build his confidence to want to make an attempt towards the person, but I don't think right now he is. You're welcome, Shelly. Amy, what was it? Amy, is Michael? No, I did Michael. Angel, will I remarry? Angel, will you remarry? Yeah, but you know what? I see a move in your future. So you're not going to get remarried for at least 5 to 7 years. I know you don't want to hear that, but I see it's going to be at least 5 to 7 years, and you will actually move and relocate before you meet somebody that you're going to marry. There's some work you have to do before that's going to happen. MEB, did he make a mistake cheating on me? Yeah, he knows that. He wants to surrender to it. Jonetta, what's coming in for Jonetta when it comes to love? I might have to get a different deck. This deck is not shuffling very good. I see that you have somebody coming towards you with Aquarius. They have a lot of options, but they're going to be stuck on you, and they bring a lot of peace in your life. It's not going to be hard. It's not going to be difficult. Oh, yeah, this person sees who you are. They recognize you. You may meet this person out and about. You might meet them online. Let me get a different deck. This one's not shuffling very good. Let me switch decks really quick. Yeah. Okay. Michelle, will you spend Valentine's Day alone? There's something that you don't see. Oh, you're going to get asked out potentially with somebody, but you're going to push them away, Michelle. So you have free will. We'll see. Maybe I'll go live on Valentine's Day, and then you won't be alone, Michelle. We'll see. All right. Melissa, is Michelle coming back or moving on? She's moving on. Saming, what's coming towards Saming for love? Ooh. Okay, well, I see you got an Empress coming towards you. Somebody who's very patient, very kind, very loving. They're not going to be open and readily available for the relationship initially. And it could be because there's distance. But if you invest in the commute back and forth, you both invest in an equal give and take, there's a lot of hope for this relationship. All right. Cindy, does my love feel the same? Does Cindy's love feel the same? Cindy's love. That you both are very attracted to each other, but there is a sense of independence that neither one of you are wanting to maybe let go of. But if you're sleeping together, you both enjoy that. Carol, is there a future for John and myself? Carol, is John and Carol going to have a future? I see he's going to reach out to you. Is it going to be a future? He still loves you. You might be surprised that he's still in love with you. He secretly is obsessed with you. This is an unconditional love. This is a love that you only feel it very, very rarely, more than once in a lifetime. That unique love. So I do see that he is obsessed with wanting this love back. So you might be surprised with that Tower that you could come back together. All right. Marta, what's going on between my person and third party? Marta, person and third party. Well, your person is love bombing this third party. And your person is also talking to somebody else. The person that they're with, they could be using them. Your person could be using them for money. Okay. Emerald, is my person be together? I don't understand that. You have to put it in the thing again. I'm not sure. What's going on the next few weeks? Beach. All right. What's going on for Beach the next few weeks here? Oh. What? Oh. Somebody that there was a third party situation that you close the chapter, you're confident about that. That person is still in your energy. You need to work on finding something that's going to make you happy. Maybe get outside, go enjoy the sun, go have some fun, do something fun. Like, you ever think about when you were a kid? What did you like to do when you were a little kid? What was fun for you? Go do that. Or if you have something on your bucket list, go do that. If you do that, there's somebody that will see you that you will meet, that you will interact with, not this ex. So if you don't put yourself out there, I don't see you meeting this person. But if you do, there is somebody else. They're younger than you, but they may actually bring the inner child out in you also. They may have Capricorn in their chart also. Amy, should I wait for Michael? I never tell anybody to wait or go, but I can give you a sign of if you wait, you're not going to be happy that you kept giving to wait. If you go and walk away, you're going to still think about him, it looks like. But if you go, there's another opportunity around the corner. How far away is this? Your intuition tells you this. 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years, based on you. You know, here's the thing is free will means you can willingly do whatever you want. And if you don't do it, then you have to wait for it to come back around when the opportunity does present itself. Sorry, let me shut my thingy off. Okay. All right. I'm going to switch decks again. I don't know why. Shuffling is really difficult today. I don't know what's going on with these decks. They don't want to shuffle very easily. Okay. Let's see here. Lisa, will Jerry and I work out? Lisa and Jerry, are you going to work out? There's been a lot of hurt and disappointment. I think if you both are really honest with each other, I see with the Seven of Swords reverse and the Knight of Cups that you both can make promises and you want this. Then I see that both of you can rebuild this. There's a confidence boost here that if you want to both be fully honest. Lisa, will I hear from Phil this month? Yes. Bianca, is he sorry for what he did? Bianca, is he sorry for what he did? No, he's holding back. He's at peace with what he did. Hi, Lynn. How are you? Kim, will my ex-husband Tony reach out? Kim, will your ex reach out? Yeah, I see the Tower. You're going to be kind of surprised by it because you don't expect it. He's going to ask, how are you doing? Are you doing good? If he's seen you somewhere, he's going to say, you look really nice. I do see him reaching out. Marta, will I find someone soon? How about Marta and her love life? Marta's love life. If you get invited to go out with friends for drinks or happy hour, you should. Wow, wow, wow. You definitely should. You've got the Devil, Ten of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune. You definitely should. Luck is going to be on your side, and you could be meeting somebody that actually could take you the distance when it comes to a long-term relationship. That's nice. All right. Angela, what's next in love for Angela? What's next in love for Angela? Are you anxiously waiting on somebody? Two of Cups in reverse, somebody you thought was your soulmate. The Justice, the Seven of Pentacles, Nine of Swords, the Hermit. I think you're blocking your communication because you're waiting on somebody to come back and tell you they still love you, tell you that they want to return. You need to work on that. Yeah, look at that. You've got the Ace of Cups in reverse, which means you're blocking your own blessing by not working through and healing. So if you feel like you still think about somebody, you're still tapping into that energy, it's kind of blocking the next person to come through. So I would say work on trying to release anybody. The best way you can do that is getting to a place of forgiveness within yourself for whatever's transpired and actually forgiving them. And it's easier said than done, but it's something that is necessary. Okay, Lizelle, is Sean coming back for reconciliation? Is there a third party? Is he coming back? He's coming back with communication, but you guys are not in alignment. King and Queen, one's upright, one's reversed, and I have the Tower. So I see communication coming in, but you're not in alignment. And why is it not working? He likes being single. He enjoys being independent. He likes not having the responsibilities that come with a relationship. Okay. Let's see. Emerald, does my person love me? Emerald, does your person love you? Emerald, does your person love you? You know, yes, your person has strong feelings for you, but they're not going to tell you. They're hiding from it. You make this person really happy. I'm hearing, oh, happy day. So this person gets really excited when they hear from you. Let's see. Tracy, what's your love guidance? What's Tracy's love guidance? Tracy. You are somebody that if you don't get a lot of attention, you should be able to get a lot of attention. Your energy is very strong. There's a lot of blue here that you should have a lot of potential. If you are finding like, I'm just not meeting anybody, Teresa, nobody's, coming towards me, nobody's coming in, there's a guarded energy that you need to work on releasing. There's something darkened that is hindering you from having all these potential options. And sometimes it's a limited belief. Sometimes it's a perspective about oneself. So if you are getting a lot of opportunities, you're attracting people that they're non-committal and they're not really wanting the same thing. So what does that mean? That means that if you are attracting people that are non-committal, you have to ask yourself, where am I going to meet these people? And how long am I investing in people that really are not bearing fruit on my return? And you have to say, you know what, I'm going to tower. I'm going to be at peace and tower it if I know it's not going to go anywhere. So it depends on which side of the fence you're on. If you're getting the people to come towards you, or you're getting the dates, you're getting people interested, but it's stopping at a certain point, it's because you have to cut away faster. Pay attention to what your intuition is saying about the red flag. And if you're not getting them, there's a limited belief about yourself that you're actually internally, maybe you don't even realize it, that you're subconsciously blocking from the potential of what is actually out there for you. Okay. Let's see here. Roberta, will I end up with L or J? You had the Two of Pentacles. So you do have two choices here. One of them, they're not stable when it comes to their love and their emotions to give to you. The other one is not made a decision between you and somebody else. So as you're trying to make a decision, that person is also trying to make a decision. I think you impulsively need to cut your losses and move away. Both of these people are kind of disrupting your peace. And I think you feel like they're both kind of a flight risk anyway. I think you wipe the roster and potentially bring in some fresh energy is what it looks like to me. All right. Who else? Let's see. Lisa, will I hear from Phil this month? Lisa. Ooh, Two of Cups. Yes, you will. Okay, that's nice. You can ask more than one question, but not in the same comment. You got to put it on separate lines. I appreciate that. Thank you. Okay. Lisa, when will Jerry and I communicate about our future? Lisa and Jerry. I see you're the one who initiates the conversation. 1 to 2 weeks. If you wait for him to initiate, it's going to be 6 weeks. So it's depending on if you want to initiate the conversation. You're welcome, Emerald. Okay. Melissa, if I'll find love after Michelle. Will Melissa find love after Michelle? Yes, it's going to be somebody that actually lives at a distance, and it's actually somebody from your past, somebody you already know, somebody that you maybe have a past life with this person. They may have Libra in their chart. They may have fire in their chart. They may have water in their chart, but you will find love. Okay. Fariel, what is next for you in love? I got a couple more minutes, then I got to get out of here. You're going to talk to 2 people that live at a distance. One is really, really old. Why are you talking to this person? Because you're bored. The other person is really, really young. You're patiently waiting to see, but this person's a professional love bomber. They're just going to tell you what you want to hear, and you may talk to them just because you like that they give you all the compliments that you want to hear. I don't see anything tangible in the current energy. All right. Hyde, will I find a real, true relationship? Hyde. Okay, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to try to say this with tact and with kindness. Stop sleeping with people before you're in a relationship. Hyde, if you are going towards people for physical reasons, that's the wrong reason. You can have the 10 of Cups. You can have a long-term loving relationship, marriage, partnership, whatever you desire. but you have to let go of a cycle that has ran its course. It could be a belief system too. It could be that you believe that if you sleep with them, you can get them, or you believe if you give it to them that they're going to give you something long-term. And if you're not sleeping with them, it could just be a belief system that you have to use your body in order to obtain a relationship. So you can definitely have it. And I do see that you have two people in your future if you close out that belief or that pattern. One could be a water, or they're both water signs actually, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, that can get you to the 10 of Cups. Tracy, is Brad coming towards Tracy? Yep, but he's coming to have a passionate new beginning. Is it Dragana? Sorry if I said your name wrong. I'm not sure. Are we going to break up or smooth things out? Dragana. I see the 5 of Wands. I see the Death card. Then the Hierophant. You're going to break up. You're going to get back together. But here's the thing. When you get back together, you're going to feel this Tower moment all over again, because you may find that he is communicating with somebody behind the scenes. So if you do break up and then you decide, you know what, we're going to recommit, you need to make sure that you use your intuition to discern when you have that conversation. Like, hey, just want to be clear that we are officially back together. It's not, I feel like we're back together, but it's the formal conversation that we are actually back together. Okay. Stephanie, will I spend clients alone? I don't know what that means. You might have to re-put that down there. I'm not sure what that means. Angela, is tech coming towards Angela? Is tech coming towards Angela? Is tech coming towards Angela? I see the growth. Yeah, I see the growth potential. You mutually both feel that way. Yes, he is. Let's see. Juanita, Angela, is Ariel worth my time? My name is Teresa. I'm not sure. Angela, Ariel, Juanita. No, it's going to end with the 10 of Swords. Love for me. Annie, what is the love situation for Annie? You're going to meet somebody through your friends. You may want to hold on to this person. You may hold back from them, but you may want to hold on to them. Give this person a chance. There's abundance attached to this person. It's kind of like, even if it becomes a platonic friend, this person gives you the energy and the momentum to get out there and to go. And there's a sense of you become more confident and stable within yourself. Yeah, there's a sense of maybe right now or in the past you've had a loss or abandonment. You recover that through this other person. It may end up being your new best friend too. Okay. Stephanie, is my ex talking or sleeping with somebody? And will you spend Valentine's alone? Stephanie's ex. He has a lot of options. He is talking to somebody that does live at a distance. You're going to be caught up in your head about it, but you need to close this cycle out. You need to let this go. Let it go. You may think, oh, I'm just going to reach out to him and see if I can figure it out. Don't do that. Just let it go. If you do, let it go. Look at all these options you have. You have a lot of potential. You have a lot more potential than what you realize. Yep. I'm being told wear your hair down. I don't know. Listen, I don't wear my hair down. I don't like, you guys notice I don't wear my hair down very often. I prefer my hair up. It's more comfortable, but I'm being told to wear your hair down, whatever that means. You probably know what that means. You're welcome. Thank you. Okay. Juanita, what sign is my future husband? I'm tired of being single and celibate. I do have a future spouse love reading. You're very codependent right now. You're very codependent with communication with people. You got to work on getting out of your codependency. Your future spouse, oh yeah, 2 of Cups, is a earth sign, or they have earth in their chart. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But you need to work on getting out of your codependent energy before you can meet that person. If you want to get specific details, you can order a future spouse love reading on my website. Tracy, will I move and have growth? If Tracy moves, will she have growth? I see you're evaluating it. You need a practical plan of communication of what you're going to do. I see there is a lot of growth where you're at, you may be feeling stuck or stagnant. I don't know which way you're stuck, but it looks like financially you will have a lot of prosperity, and you may not find emotionally a lot of interaction with people, meaning you may make a lot of money, but you may not find love. Yeah, you're going to be confident that love is not where you're going to be at. You're going to go move somewhere, you're going to make a lot of money, and then you're going to move somewhere else, and that's when you're going to find love. So it's like you have two moves in your future. Okay. Lizelle, is there a third party? Lizelle. I got 4 more minutes, and then I got a boot scoot boogie out of here. Appreciate everybody who joined live and liked it and put comments. No, there's no third party. Let's see. Janie, anything interesting for Janie? What do we have for Janie? What is the energy around Janie? Hold on, I need a drink. Maybe you need to drink more water. This is actually flavored water. This was my coffee cup. I just put flavored water in it this morning. Okay, Janie. The truth is you've been spending a lot of time by yourself, and you need to get out of the house. You've been in hermit mode. Maybe you've been analyzing, thinking, trying to figure out what to do, where to do it, where to go, how to go, when to go. Stop thinking about it. When your intuition says, hey, let's go here. Hey, let's do this. Just jump on it. Because if you do, like if your intuition says, I need a vacation, I want to go to Italy, then I want you to work it out, because the world is waiting for you to meet this person, but you have to put your step forward. You can't, I always say this all the time. It's not like Amazon. You can't just order it. They don't just show up at your door. You have to move the energy. Sometimes moving the energy a little bit different helps. All right. Let's see. I got 3 more minutes. Hyde, is my ex seeing someone? You got to put your ex's birthday or zodiac or something in the comments. I don't know which ex. I mean, your last ex, the last person, I don't know if it's last or prior, but the last one is somebody who is making a lot of promises to people, but not satisfying anything. Samina, is Azhan going to reach out or contact you? No, I see him in isolation in the hermit mode. Ashley, will Thomas reach out this month? Will Thomas reach out to Ashley this month? I'm seeing Dr. Pepper. I don't know why. No, I don't see him reaching out. Not this month. Tracy, will Brad divorce and grow towards Tracy? Will Brad divorce and grow towards Tracy? No, you know, were you guys sleeping together? Because I see that you've been patiently waiting for maybe something more, potentially something more, but you're being asked to close this chapter, close this cycle. There's a new beginning that is waiting for you, but you haven't closed this one out yet. So, and you could be thinking, well, I just want to talk to them as friends. It's still keeping you blocked from meeting somebody new. Let's see. Erica, will I spend Valentine's Day with Billy? Will Erica and Billy spend Valentine's Day together? Yes, I see that may work out for you, the 3 of Pentacles. You might actually stay home together, but I do see that. Shelly, will he call me? Will he call Shelly? Will he call Shelly? Will he call Shelly? No, I see he's walked away and he's made that decision that he's okay with that right now. He is thinking about you, but I don't see him reaching out. Melissa, is the love coming in from an ex or a new person? Melissa's love, is it new or old? Melissa. I have a headache. Do you have a headache, Melissa? This is somebody from the past. But you know what? He's not happy with this person. I don't know if that makes you feel good, but he's not happy with this person. Okay. Let's see. You have for weeks. Oh, okay. All right, I'm going to do one more question, then I have to get out of here. You're welcome, Stephanie. One more. Suzanne, will Rick come back? Lucky Suzanne, you're the last question of the day, Suzanne. Oh, well, you know, here's the thing. You've had an ending, but he is going to come back and communicate with you. But the problem is he's not communicating with just you. He's talking to somebody else. And the problem is he's not going to be honest with you about it. So even though, yes, he is going to come back, I want you to listen to what you feel. You may even say, hey, are you talking to anybody else? Are you communicating with anybody else? He's going to tell you no, but your intuition is going to tell you otherwise. There's double confirmation. You may be feeling like a double heaviness or a weight when you ask that question. As soon as you feel that heaviness, that weight, when he answers, this is going to be your confirmation to let you know that he's juggling you with somebody else. He's talking to somebody else, but he's going to tell you he's not. He is definitely going to lie to you about it, not tell you the truth. All right, that is all I have for today. I must leave. I've come. I've answered questions. I got my live to work. Yay. I appreciate everybody. I am going to come back again tomorrow. I'm trying to go live every day. Tomorrow's going to be earlier because I have somewhere I have to be at 12. So I'm going to try. Don't guarantee it, but I'll send out the live notification ahead of time. I think I'm going to come live at either 9:30 or 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. So if you guys would like to join me, I would appreciate it. And then we'll do tomorrow. It's up to you guys. You guys want to do, we could do singles, who's coming towards you next in love, or we could do, what's the other one I was thinking about doing? What you need to know, you know, like what spirit messages are coming through for you, like psychic, just whatever's coming in. We could do that one. Yeah. So we could do one of the two of those. So, okay. I will schedule it out and then we will meet tomorrow if you guys want to join me. I appreciate everybody who joined the live. If you're coming in after it started, I will put the timestamps down below. I hope everybody has a beautiful and an amazing day and happy Tuesday to you all. Okay, bye-bye.